What up, YouTube? My name is Cheryce. This is my husband, Jeff, and welcome to RyceTV. Glad that you're here. This will be our Batman vs. Superman spoiler review. So, if you have not seen this movie, do not watch this. Watch our non-spoiler review because we just got finished doing that. Now we're here to do the spoiler review. And so, on that note, I'm going to have our guests talk about Batman vs. Superman first.
Well, first of all, stop looking at my monkeys. I know you're doing it.
Oh, God. Nobody cares about your monkeys.
It's okay. They're caring now, aren't they?
Oh, God.
Aren't they?
Just talk about the movie.
But yeah, so basically, this movie was one of those movies where you went in hoping and praying for the best, or at least I did. I was like, I believe that I believe that this movie can be a good movie.
Believe it!
Believe it! And I went in there and I sat down, and personally, I knew in my mind that this movie was gonna be bad. But in my heart, I was like, I feel this is gonna be a good movie because it's a Batman v Superman movie. They're gonna come in there and go, they're gonna brawl each other, and then Superman's gonna kiss, and then Batman's gonna kiss, and that's not what happened. What happened was we got
What had
happened was we got 2.5 hours worth of talking and building up and getting ready for this fight, and then the whole fight was maybe 6 or 7 minutes total. So you get in there, you get oh, we shouldn't be killing each other. We should really be fighting against this other thing that just pops in here at the random. No.
It was your mama's Martha.
Your mama's mama.
That's what stopped him. Was the mama? The power of the mother stopped them from fighting. OMG, what the is that?
When he had him on the ground and he said, "You're gonna let Martha die," he was like, no, me personally, if I were in Batman's position at that point, I'd be like, "Don't talk about my mama." That would have been the end of it. End of movie. Roll credits. Done. But no, he said. And he just had to have his moment where he went back and flashed back about his mom dying and all that kind of stuff.
He had a Ratatouille moment.
He threw him back into childhood with the one word, his mama's name. And so he has his moment. He just jumps back into the past, and he comes back and is like, "How you know that name?" Yeah, just... Oh, okay. And before that, there was the build-up that I was mentioning before. Oh my goodness, my eye.
His eye is always itching.
Right? Okay, so, yeah, there was the build-up to their fight was basically Lex Luthor trying to put together a scenario under which they fight each other for the sake of justice. And the entire time I was looking at this happening, and I'm like, why don't you just go up to Batman and say, "Hey, I know who you are, you know who I am, we both want Superman dead, let's come together and do it." That should have happened. And if it had happened, it would have been a short movie. So, of course, they couldn't do it that way. So, Lex Luthor had to put up this master plan that was impossible to have actually orchestrated in order to make his arch rivals, quote-unquote, fight. And they only became arch rivals, at least Batman anyway. Batman only became an arch rival because he made him, manipulated him into fighting Superman. Unnecessary.
And even then, it was like... Did Lex Luthor orchestrate Zod in the first movie?
They tried to make it sound
They really tried to make it sound like Lex Luthor, and I'm sorry, this is not really Lex Luthor. Let's put that on note.
Yes.
This is Lex Luthor Jr., and so it seems like the director actually tried to dodge a bullet by calling him Junior, so we won't get too mad at him about the portrayal of Lex Luthor. But honestly, I really wanted to know more about Lex Luthor, and this is why there should have been a Superman standalone movie with Lex Luthor, so we can see more about or know more about Lex Luthor, because it seems like he comes from a abusive past. And I would have liked to see this story unfold about his relationship between he and Lex Luthor Sr. I mean, it would have been something very similar to the Kingpin in Daredevil, where we actually got to see the Kingpin kill his father, who was abusive. Lex Luthor should have been the Kingpin. That should have been his storyline, but they didn't go there. They went very zany, and I understood it. I didn't really have too much of a quarrel with it, but I really would have wanted to have seen more about Lex Luthor, his motives behind his hatred for Batman and his hatred for Superman.
I hated every second that he was on the screen because of the fact that they didn't go back and talk about his origin at all. He was just this loopy kid with a bunch of money, shoving Jolly Ranchers in people's mouths, trying to get things to happen. And that was it.
And that's the thing. They were... somebody actually gave an analogy that he was supposed to be the Heath Ledger Joker in this movie, where,
Okay.
you know, Heath Ledger, he just said his past, and even then we still had no idea about his past, but he did a great performance. But once again, it was just Batman and the Joker, not Batman, Superman, Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman, Doomsday, and a little bit of Zod.
Bro.
You know, I'm sorry, Lois Lane. I mean, you have so many characters that you needed to develop, and they were doing a great job.
Not even develop, just introduce, dadgummit. Like I was saying, they should have had a movie for each and every one of these people. Maybe not necessarily Lois Lane, but I'm saying Batman, Superman, Lex Luthor, they needed their origin stories put together better. Maybe even just having a movie with Superman and Lex Luthor together, and then, you know, just kind of, like, I think they did a good job of painting in the reasoning behind why Batman hated Superman. Beyond that, nobody, in my opinion, had much of a well-explained motivation for any of the stuff that they did, including Superman. It's like, okay, Superman is conflicted because people kind of hate him. It's like, oh, he's exercising too much power. Did he do too much over here? Did he secretly kill some people over here? I understand why he kind of, you know, had an inner turmoil about that. But my thing is, at the end of the day, they don't have any proof. And even if they did have proof, like, just go sit in jail for, you know, a couple of decades. You're Superman. You don't age, bro. You're gonna be okay. Everybody's gonna forget that you did anything 20 years down the line. If you really wanted to say, hey, I wanted to make up for this crime that they say that I did even though I didn't, just sit in jail. I wouldn't have said that would have been a good idea, but I'm just saying, like,
They've done that before, but not in cinematic movies. But they've done that before.
But yeah, it's silly to me. It's like, Superman's motivation was silly. Batman's motivation made sort of sense. Lex Luthor's motivation was... It made sense, but the way they led up to how he got his plan together and why he's doing what he's doing was like, let's throw it in there. Party confetti, me smacking lamps and breaking things. And
stop breaking things.
Yeah.
When you were talking about that, it is a good movie up to a certain point. Like I said, it's kind of hard to pinpoint that certain point. I heard one reviewer actually say that it happened at Grandma's Peach Tea.
Bruh, that was probably my favorite part of the movie right there. Seriously though, like when she turned to look, like he explained the story about the tea, and you know she was like, you know, whatever, and then you know she saw on her desk, what is that? Oh. And you saw her face just sink because she knew it was about to go down. And then, of course, the whole building explodes and everything falls around. And Superman's just sitting all conflicted like, oh, I should have seen it coming. I don't know. That was the best part of the movie to me was Peach Tea.
His face was like, there's a bomb. But whether or not I should do something about it.
No, he couldn't do anything.
I don't know.
He didn't see it. And that's why he was upset about it. Me personally, I'd have been like, okay, real talk. This just literally got all of my accusations gone. Everybody that was saying stuff about me can now say nothing because there was a bomb here. Why would they want to cover something up if I did it? They would have just let the hearing happen. That abdicated me, although it sucked that a whole bunch of people around me died. I'd have been like, this could have been a worse day. That would have been me.
Yes. I guess. It was just weird after Grandma's
it
Peach
was
Tea.
weird.
Even I feel like it happened before Grandma's Peach Tea, where they were even just talking about Grandma's Peach Tea.
It was the opening credits. That's where it went
It
down.
can't go opening credits, but it was like the red capes are coming. The red capes are coming. It's like, what does this have to do with the tea in China? No pun intended, but it was.
She intended a pun there. You know she did.
It was, and here I go with the confused look. It was just, why? And that's the thing with this whole movie, with the rest of the movie after the red capes are coming, I was asking myself, why? Because she really wasn't the senator. I think that's what she was. Mm-hmm. She wasn't telling everybody about Superman or aliens, because everybody knew that Superman and the aliens are here.
Right.
So what was the whole point of talking about the red capes are coming? The red capes are coming. It just made
to me
no sense.
It seemed like it was just kind of an allegory to saying that Superman was coming, but to me it was like, okay, this is how he's going to say all heck is about to break loose. It's like, hey, Superman is coming. This is your, what are you going to do about it, Batman? What are you going to do about it, rest of the world? Hey, this thing is happening, whether you want it to or not. Are you going to do something about it? That's what I got from the red coats are coming. That was like him saying, hey, it's time to step up, time to do something.
But he's talking to the senator.
I know it.
He's not talking to anybody else but the senator. And I guess he's saying to the senator, oh, the senator wants to. I mean, the main thing about the whole court case was to figure out Superman's intentions and whether or not we can control Superman if he gets out of place.
Which the answer to that is no, by the way, which is, I don't even know why they bothered asking that question.
But
never mind.
Like I said, but a lot of the things about this movie was asking a question, why? There was a lot of plots that were introduced, but no answers. It was just, let's put this here because it will look visually awesome, which it did.
Truth.
But storytelling wise, why does this make sense? It just didn't. It didn't.
Speaking of things that don't make sense, when Lois came down with the inexplicable knowledge that this spear was the way to kill Apocalypse.
You won't let that go.
I'm not gonna let this go. Wait, did I say Apocalypse? What's that guy's name?
His name is Doomsday.
Doomsday. See, I knew it was some kind of terrible, destructive force. Doomsday. When she came to the conclusion that this spear was the way to kill Doomsday, I'm gonna let y'all, when you watch it and you come back and watch this review, you tell me how that happened. How did she know?
Well, we are assuming that if they are here, then they've already watched the movie.
I know that, but what I'm saying is, if you haven't watched it and you just felt the need to watch the spoilers anyway, you know the people that watch the spoilers? Yeah. But yeah, so when you go to see it, or if you've already seen it, please tell me how she knew, because she was there in the middle of doom and evil and destruction, and no news reports around her, no information being trickled down to her, nothing. All she knew was that green stick would kill Superman, and she threw that thing in the water to keep Superman alive. How then does she suddenly come to the conclusion, oh, this huge creature, just because this creature just happens to be able to shoot eye lasers, maybe he could be killed by this spear? How did she come to that conclusion?
And what I believe about this situation is that she saw Batman coming closer to the city. Why is he coming close to the city? Maybe it's for the spear that he tried to kill Superman with.
I don't think that holds much weight, because yes, she can probably see the raging rain of doom and destruction coming down, but that's not an association that she had the liberty to make. She didn't see Doomsday come out of the spaceship. She didn't see Doomsday. Basically, all she saw was his destructive path. Mm-hmm. And I think she might have actually seen him shoot eye lasers after she brought the spear, saying, hey, this is how you kill this dude. There was no indication that she had any way of getting the information as to how to kill this guy from just from her perspective, her point of view, all she knew was, hey, this spear will kill Superman.
Like I said, there were a lot of whys. Just even Doomsday was a why. Like, why did he mutate?
That was because the ship did some unholy ritual that was banned by the Kryptonians, and that was kind of explained.
It seemed like it was just because of the blood from Lex Luthor that he mutated, and they say, hey, any mutations, we can't, it's forbidden. Okay.
Well, the blood from Lex Luthor allowed him to control Doomsday. That's the reason.
What kind of control? Because Doomsday was about to kill him.
That's not the point. The thing was, the theory behind what was explained in the movie, was sort of explained in the movie was. Yeah. It was like, whoa. You might have skimmed across it when you were. Yeah. Anyway, what was skimmed across was the blood was supposed to control Doomsday, and so when he said, hey, kill this dude, Doomsday would listen as opposed to just choking him out or something. Even though, like you said, the very first thing Doomsday tried to do was either punch Superman because he knew he was going to be in front of Lex Luthor, or kill Lex Luthor. It was the first thing he tried to do. So then that plot point was kind of thrown out because, like I said, when the ship was explaining to him this ritual, and they started, it was like, oh, this is forbidden. Oh, tendrils coming down out of the ship about to transform this dude. Oh, this blood will help you control it, but we don't think you should be doing this. And so, all of that stuff was explained and then immediately thrown away when he came out of that pod chrysalis thing. So, yes, it was explained, but no, it actually was not the reason, because clearly the second he got the chance, he tried to kill this dude. That's whatever, man. None of this movie made sense.
Doomsday, Doomsday, his powers didn't make sense. Like, until he started evolving, he had a Havoc kind of power where he...
Chest laser.
Yeah. And it's like, why does he have chest laser powers?
Because
mutation?
He's got to be the evolved form of Superman. Superman got eye lasers. He has eye lasers. You got to take it up another level. You got to go, whoa, and then you got to go, whoa. You got to go up. You got to take it up.
And then, okay, so let's talk about Wonder Woman. Okay, so once again, as what we stated in our first review, she was beautiful on screen. She did an awesome job. The problem is, she was just wedged in there. Yes, we saw her.
She was like shoehorned.
She was so shoehorned. She like bits and pieces. She kind of flowed almost like a love interest for Batman, for Bruce Wayne. More or less. And it worked well. And then it went somewhere horribly wrong. Like, okay, so let's go back. This movie is like 3 or 4 different movies in one.
No. This is pieces of 4 or 5 different movies. Just kind of, they shook it up in a bag and then they said, there you go, there's your movie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And honestly, I mean, it could have been Wonder Woman movie, and then Wonder Woman meets Batman movie, and then Superman movie, and then Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman movie. And then the big finale of everyone.
The reason why they called this movie The Dawn of Justice was they were supposed to be introducing the individual people that will eventually make up the Justice League. And the way they introduced all of the characters kind of spoke to how this movie was put together, in my opinion. They had just kind of wannabe sort of kind of little bit of cameos from Aquaman and the Flash, and Flash reaching through portals. Yeah, so they had little pieces of them for like a half a second for their introductions, and then they just kind of moved on. That's how I felt this entire movie was. It was little pieces of wannabe stories back to back to back to back to back until you got to the end, where you had like a full 20 minutes worth of them trying to figure out who to fight, basically.
Oh my god. Aquaman looked like a deer in the headlights. It's like
he was confused.
He was so confused. Like, am I supposed to come out? No. Come out? No. And no.
Yeah.
It as a after credits scene.
That would have been excellent. That was a perfect after credit scene, but you stuck it in the three-quarters portion of the movie.
Why did you do that? I don't know. But the funny part about this is that there are actual people who are sitting in the audience who are waiting for an after credit scene. We had gotten so used to after credit scenes.
Marvel spoiled us.
Marvel spoiled us.
Man.
And it's like the lights are on in the movie theater. And I mean, my husband and I, we knew that there was an after credit scene. In fact, basically, that last scene with the casket of Superman was basically your after credit scene.
That's all you get.
Oh yeah, he lives. You know what's hilarious? I didn't put two and two together, but this happened. I know now why this happened in Easter weekend. They're putting even more symbolism between Jesus.
There was an underscored topic that was basically making Superman into a god. And so it makes sense that the movie coming out Easter Sunday has some imagery there with relationship to making Superman
Easter
Jesus.
Weekend.
Yeah, well, we saw it beforehand, but it seemed to me that there are parallels that can be drawn between Superman and Jesus, which there always have been.
Yeah.
It's just now they were like, we're obvious. There it is. You see it right there? Yeah.
Yes, and Superman rises again. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if you knew, but spoiler alert, Superman dies. What they did was that they took, I know from the animated series, where were you there the day that Superman died?
That was a good movie, by the way.
Great movie. So they took from this movie and, which I also heard, of course, is a comic.
Mm-hmm.
And the comic that they really took this from was, or based this from was Batman, The Dark Knight, I believe. That's what I heard.
I'm not sure.
Where Batman and Superman fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, just think about all of those ideals put into this one movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was a hot mess.
Hodgepodge.
A hot mess.
Fun part that I will mention about Wonder Woman, and, that'll be when she outsmarts Batman at the beginning of the movie, I was like, to a degree, I can see them getting down like 2 days from now. Mm-hmm. I saw that in my mind. I was like, this is the movie where they're going to hook up and then they're going to realize they're not right for each other. And that didn't happen at all. Like, that would have been an element of the movie that, in spite of all the elements that were thrown in this movie all over the place, that would have been the thing that I've been like, boom, right there. Perfect, right? This section right here. No. Oh.
Yeah, but in the animated series, that they always had that connection, tension.
But they acted on it once or twice too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And I halfway expected this movie to kind of do what the animated series did, or at least the animated movie did, where it was just Batman and Superman kind of fighting over Wonder Woman. Or Lois. I think it was Lois
that they were fighting over. So.
And it just seemed like too many lead ladies. Not to say anything wrong with that, but it was just, where are we going? What is our vision? Where are we going with this? I don't understand this. And like you don't really need a bad guy, but you already have Lex Luthor and Doomsday. Batman was sort of your bad guy because this is not his movie. This is Superman's movie. However,
whoa.
Batman ended up being the main. It seemed like this was Batman movie. Superman.
Yeah, it was the Batman. Be Superman.
Yes, that's basically what it is. I mean, Batman's story is more interesting than.
From the
Superman.
From the opening.
I'm sorry, everybody who loves Superman.
Bruh, they know. Anybody who loves Superman knows that his story isn't exactly fraught with peril or dangerous encounters with people because he's Superman. He just, I don't feel like taking your crap anymore. We're done here. And just go back home. That's basically what happens. every time he fights anyone. And there's only so many times that can be interesting. So, yeah, that's what you got with Superman. And, you know, people who like the hey, we're done here, those are people that love Superman. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm personally not a Superman fan. However, I can appreciate the fact that he's a superhero that cannot be dominated. All of the people that fight him are the underdogs trying to get Superman to die. You know, like, hey, how close can we get to beating Superman today?
I'm pretty sure that the Hulk can kill Superman if they were in the same, you know, cinematic universe. Yeah. But they're not.
Yeah. I would say that it would be a really good fight.
That brings up another thing. Mm-hmm. Thoughts in my head when Batman and Superman were going down was that sounds really bad. When they were fighting, I can't get that out of my head now. Okay, so in scene. Okay, so when they were fighting, all I could think about was I could probably see a better version of this on YouTube.
Yeah, I see that.
It just
somebody did it better with
on YouTube.
Yeah, with Photoshop and some other arbitrary editing programs, and somebody's done it better.
That's just personally how I felt. YouTube has done it better. Yeah, YouTubers. Anything else that we want to say about this movie? Spoilers. I'm sorry. It's just I wish I can just reenact everything how I felt about this movie or how I sat in this movie, because like I said, I saw the trailers before, I saw reviews before, and so I sat down with some expectations, and it's like, oh, where does it go wrong? Reviewers say it goes wrong in halfway through the movie. Where is it that it goes wrong? This is an awesome movie. Oh, Grandma's peach tea, or the red capes are coming.
Red capes are coming.
Oh, and then after that is why? And then honestly, we were looking at each other like,
yeah.
we just
to me, the movie kind of took a turn. The movie soured for me when he fed that man that Jolly Rancher. I was like, what's the point of this scene except to prove that he's possibly the most awkwardly gay person I've ever seen in my life? You don't need this scene. And then from that point on, there was just scene after scene after scene where I was like, why do we have this? We don't need this. What is wrong with you people? Where's the storyline? Why did you go astray?
Why is even Wonder Woman interested in Lex Luthor? That was another question that they never answered. Like, she said that true. I'm interested in knowing more about Lex Luthor, and that wasn't explained. It really just wasn't.
That was it. And she was like, I just want to know more about him.
For what?
That was it.
Why are you here?
No reason.
No.
Zero reason.
No reason. Just like how we had no idea that Batman was somebody that Lex Luthor didn't like. Why?
But there was no reason.
There's no reason.
No explanation.
None.
In fact, I will give them the fact that maybe, just maybe, they were business rivals. Button heads trying to figure out which person is better at making money or something. That's the only thing I could think of. Beyond that, they didn't do any detail as to why Lex Luthor would even want to manipulate Superman. Why? Just ask him. Just ask. You can see he hates him already.
Wait. Batman.
What?
Not manipulate Superman. Manipulate Batman.
Well, he manipulated both of them.
Yeah, he did.
But why manipulate Batman? Just ask him. You see that he doesn't like him. You see that. So you form your plan around the fact that Batman like hates Superman. Why not just ask him to work with you?
Yes.
Because he would have. He's like, hey, I have a business proposition for you. How would you like to be the guy that helps kill Superman? Great for your company. People hate him right now. Let's do it. And they'd be like, all right, I'm game. Let's go. That's what would have happened. But no, he said, let's make an enemy out of everybody. But why? You're a multi-billionaire guy, you're supposed to have some form of intelligence. Perish the thought. Oh my goodness, I had an epiphany. Oh.
What is this epiphany?
Donald Trump is Lex Luthor.
I think somebody else drew that line because it was kind of.
He's so bad at it. He dumbs himself out of being smart. That's what it is. That's the exact way I want to put it. He dumbs his way out of being smart this movie. All you had to do was ask him. You overthought it. You did too much. The entire movie could have been you planning with Lex Luthor how to kill Superman. Oh well, Batman planning with Lex Luthor how to kill Superman. That could have been the whole movie. But no, you had to put in this unnecessary, silly plot that doesn't go anywhere except to bring out Doomsday and have him run around for a couple seconds blowing stuff up. That's it.
Oh, let me not even. Okay, let's talk about Doomsday again. Oh. Doomsday, how does he conveniently not have a wee-wee?
Because movies.
I know that's really perverted of me, but I was just like, he should have been.
Hey man, Mr. Manhattan definitely had a big old blue.
He should have been Mr. Manhattan.
He really should have.
In this movie, you know, he is just basically a bizarro Zod. So why doesn't he have a ding dong? That was one of the main things that was going on. Like, he doesn't even have on any shorts like the Hulk would. He's just this big burly man ish that's walking around looking like a turtle. You know, it was. He
reminded me of Killer Croc when they
had
him in the.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Anything else that we can think of?
I think that's it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, she's been wearing these little 3D glasses ever since we saw this movie, and you know, apparently she's enjoying it. Man, look at her. Oh, look at her face. So, what did you think about Batman vs. Superman?
I think about the big monster guy. What I don't like.
The big monster guy she doesn't like. That's literally like I told you.
He looked disgusting.
He looked disgusting?
Yeah, he looked disgusting. That was the only part of the movie that she actually was like anywhere near paying attention to.
But it was very hard to kill him in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a tough cookie. Yeah. Oh, do you remember the green staff?
Oh, that thing with Batman cut Superman with?
Yes, exactly.
It scared me.
Yeah, it was a little scary.
Scared me a lot.
Do you remember?
I don't really.
Do you remember the plot point that allowed that lady to pick up the staff and bring it to Superman?
Baby!
I'm sorry, baby. I'm messing with you.
So, do you remember anything else from that movie?
I remember the guy with the big hair and got his hair cut, then he got trapped.
Okay, so she remembers Lex Luthor.
Getting put in jail.
And that's our other one.
That's our other mini.
Come here.
Mini.
That's Vicky, my sister.
Okay.
All right. Well, you remember anything else?
I remember when they had a battle.
Okay.
They did have a battle.
And Batman won.
Yes.
Ooh! She hurting the fans. She hurting all the Superman fans now.
Superman fans are just no.
Oh, they're salty.
But he could have really killed him if he wanted to.
Oh my goodness.
It's okay.
Oh.
Yes, it is okay.
It is okay.
It is.
On that note, I believe that we can probably end this video.
Yes, we can. So tell us, what did you think? Talk nerdy to us in the comments below. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.